Good evening. I'd like to call the city council meeting to order. It is Tuesday, March 12th at 7 PM. We are at the council chambers at the city center in Olivet, 1140 Dealman Road, 63132. Roll call, please.
Mayor Weil,
Here.
Councilmember Clark,
Here.
Councilmember Carl.
Here.
Okay. Our other two members are absent with excuse. Next item.
Item 2, communications. I do have an email here that to read into the record. All right. Dear Ms. Yackley, I listened to the replay of the meeting this past Tuesday to hear the vote and discussion about park fee changes. As you know, I volunteer on the Park and Recreation Commission. In the last couple of years, I was proud how the city council and staff have embraced DEI training. One of the reasons I moved back to Olivet 18 years ago was how diverse and welcoming the city of Olivet is. While listening to the recording, I was stunned to hear the comments made regarding moving the April 23rd council meeting. Most disappointing was to hear a member of the Jewish community dismiss the concerns about it being the second night of Passover and not a high holiday. I found the comments very disrespectful to those of us in the community who celebrate Passover. It saddens me to think there are members of the city council who think it is okay to vote on a new mayor and swear that individual in on a Jewish holiday. I am proud that our city council reflects the diversity of the community and has spent time and effort to ensure they are knowledgeable about diversity, equity, and inclusion. However, I think their actions in this situation appear to be tone deaf. I respectfully request the city council reconsider the decision to hold the meeting on Passover. Sincerely, Sue Rich. And then
Thank you.
that's all.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 3, city manager's report.
All right, good evening. Okay. So we'll start as we usually do with the first meeting of the month with an update on Olive Crossing. And we're fortunate tonight that we have the main developer in the room this evening, in case I get anything wrong. All right. So as you know, the full site improvements, those are complete. The apartment complex is also complete, and I believe they're approaching 40% leased, more than 40% leased as of this month, March. So that's excellent news. Lot 3, that is the multi-tenant retail and commercial space. So there isn't anything particularly new about this. There are 2 tenants that have been signed, Paris Baguette as well as Smoothie King. The permits have been issued. They are approaching their expiration towards the end of March. This is normal for permits. They're allowed to be open for 120 days, 180 days. So the city's planning and development director, Mr. Trejos, has been in contact with the developer, has let them know this. And the developer is allowed to request an extension and explain why they need an extension. And Mr. Trejos has the authority to approve that extension up to 120 days. So if we need that extension, and I expect that we might, then we will be bringing that information back to you. Lots 1 and 2, you'll be seeing a plat this evening about that, a consolidation plat. This is where Aldi is going to go. And then they are working on the roadway vacation and the easement vacations. So you may remember originally when this was going to be 2 separate lots, there was a drive aisle road that was going to be between the 2 lots, and that with this consolidation is going to go away, and that's part of that roadway vacation. And then lot 5 is the office, which the developer says they're still working on diligently. And lot 6 is the hotel, and they're continuing to work with their hotel franchisee, Marriott Courtyard, to figure out when they can start construction. I would just like to let everybody know that we had a recent event on Friday where we honored our firefighter of the year and our police officer of the year. So you can see firefighter paramedic Rachel Williams there and Police Lieutenant Garrett Wood receiving their award, as well as their respective chiefs and Mayor Weil. This is sort of last call for business awards. Nominate your favorite business or your favorite restaurant. Nominations will be accepted until March 20th, and then staff will review them, as well as the Economic Development Commission. And we expect the awards for both the business and the restaurant to be given at Chamber Luncheon in May. Coffee with the Mayor is tomorrow. We'll be talking to Bruce McGregor as well as Angelica Gutierrez. She's with Great Rivers Greenway. They're going to talk about the Centennial Greenway. So it's at 8:45 in the morning up at Five Oaks. The Holy Festival again is in Stacy Park this year, March 23rd from noon to 4 p.m. So please come on out. Hopefully we have a nice day for that. And then everybody's favorite time of the year is spring cleaning. So large bulk trash collection is the week of April 22nd through the 26th. If you want to have more specific details, please click the QR code. Also, please be patient. The trucks can only carry so much stuff. So if your scheduled date is Tuesday and they have not gotten to your house, please leave it out there. They will come back. But again, the trucks can only hold so much. And then lastly, the fire department is doing their bowl-a-thon fundraiser. They did this last year. It was very popular. So you can certainly use the QR code again to get more information and to register. The last day to register is April 19th. And then this is the reminder again, Olivet Weekly, to learn about all the city's goings on. And then these are the upcoming meetings. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, thank you very much.
Are there any questions for the Olivet City Manager? Okay, next item, please.
Item number 4, City Council reports.
I'll begin at to my far left with. Okay, and did not attend any extra meetings as well. So I did attend the Municipal League meeting, dinner, and once again, congratulations to both of the officers. It was very nice to be with them and their families. Next item.
I believe under the City Council reports, we had the reconsideration
Is
of the
that where
April.
we were doing that? Okay. Do you want to tee it up for us?
Sure. So at the work session, the council opted to put this on this evening's agenda. This goes back to the last meeting in February, where there was a request to change the date of the April 23rd meeting. And so at that particular meeting, the council elected to keep the meeting on the regular April 23rd date. And then at the work session, the council requested that this be brought back to the agenda to talk about it again. And I believe, although she is not here, Chairman Pro Tem Waldman had sent out a potential alternate date to April 23rd, had offered it to be Wednesday, April 24th. We would need to move the meeting to Five Oaks because court is here in the chamber, but we can certainly accommodate a council meeting at Five Oaks if that is the council's desire.
We don't need to vote. We just need a consensus.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it, but I just have a question. We are
Mhm.
moving the 23rd meeting. We are not having an additional meeting. That is,
No, we're postponing it one night.
That's my understanding is
Right.
the regularly scheduled April 23rd meeting would happen on April 24th.
okay.
Okay, so general consensus and Very good. Okay, so we'll move that to April 24th, but do note that it will be at Five Oaks. Hearing from citizens. Mr. Yowitz. And afterwards you'll fill out a card.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, Greg Yowitz, 6 Heather Hill Lane in Olivet. The topic I'd like to speak about extremely briefly is for the Holy Festival this year, could we staff more police officers? Last year, it took me 22 minutes to get from Olive to my subdivision during the event as people were consistently pulling up to the sadly only officer on duty at the time, who was Brittany. And they kept dropping people off and asking questions. And Old Bonham was a beep disaster. So if we could work on traffic, that'd
Yeah,
be
traffic.
super.
Traffic has been a discussion and additional police staffing has also been a discussion.
Awesome. That's all. Thank you.
And can I add that there's going to be parking over at Bayer? And that people can come in from is it the,
There's potentially going to be parking
Oh,
over at
okay,
Bear. It
okay.
kind of depends on the weather.
okay. And that way, and if that happens, then they can come in from the west side of Stacy.
Correct.
Okay, great. Is the whole event weather permitting?
I don't want to make a wrong statement.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Okay, next item, please.
Item number 6, Bill 3024, an ordinance to approve a final subdivision plat for a boundary adjustment entitled Consolidation Plat of Lot 1 and 2 of Olive Crossing, first reading.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Carlos Trejo. I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the City of Olivet. Tonight before you is the first reading of 2 for the approval of the final the boundary adjustment plat to consolidate lots 1 and 2 of the Olive Crossing subdivision to make way for the Audi Grosser development. And there, what is before you is the legal instrument that would be recorded with the St. Louis County Register of Deeds. Before the Register of Deeds can accept that, we need the consent of the council to authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign the document. And this goes before the council for 2 readings, and tonight's the first reading. Be glad to answer any questions on this matter.
Questions?
So we will vote on this and have a second reading on March 26th.
Just a reading.
Oh, just a reading? Okay, very good.
First reading.
Tonight,
Oh, I'm sorry.
you're talking about tonight, you're talking about next time.
The next meeting on March 26th.
Yes.
Right, that's what I said. But there will be there's no comments from citizens. It's just
There are no public hearing.
no
There's
public hearing, just a second
is
reading.
correct.
Beautiful, thank you.
Sorry. Yes,
Sorry for the confusion. Next item, please.
Item 7, request for approval to purchase 2024 Ford Escape all-wheel drive at the price of $28,853.42 from Broadway Ford Truck Sales Dealership.
Mayor, again, my name's Carlos Trejo. I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the City of Olivet. And I'm here tonight before you requesting for the purchase of a vehicle for the planning and building inspection fleet. We have a fleet of 5. We had a incident last year which reduced the number of vehicles we had to 4 and then looking forward to seeing what was coming down the pike. Usually we get vehicles that were used by the police department. Their vehicles are getting bigger than what we need for inspection purposes. And there was no specific need to have an SUV of some sort. So we petitioned and we requested in the past the purchase of passenger vehicles for the department, and submitted this to the council for an amendment to the CIP at our last meeting, I believe. And there we received a bid for a Ford Escape all-wheel drive. It's a crossover vehicle. So it provides the inspectors the opportunity to have storage space in the vehicle, but not the size of an SUV. I think that is just too much or unnecessary. The other thing, it is all-wheel drive, which assists us in bad weather events. The vehicle is also will be used for, we usually serve if somebody's taking some type of training a conference, and there they usually will take one of our fleet vehicles for those purposes. So again, the request is to replace a vehicle that we lost. We were looking at a Ford Escort, a all-wheel drive 2024. You have the bid through the request, and there. I'll be glad to answer any specific questions.
Other questions? Okay, there's no questions and I'll be happy to entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2024 Ford Escape AWD at a price not to exceed $28,853.42 from the Broadway Ford Truck Sales.
Second.
Call for the vote?
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Mayor Weil,
Yes.
motion is passed.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Very good. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 8, hearing from citizens, part 2.
Okay, it does not appear that anyone wants to speak at this time. Next item.
Item 9, review and acceptance of minutes.
So no changes.
They look good to me, so.
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that we accept city council minutes from February 27th, 2024, and work session minutes from March 5th, 2024.
Second that.
Call for the vote?
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Mayor Weil,
Yes.
motion is passed.
Okay. Next item.
Item 10, city attorney's report.
Mayor, I have no report. Would request a closed session for attorney-client communications and personnel under sections 610:021.1 and 3.
So moved. Second.
Call for the vote?
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Carl,
Yes.
Mayor Weil,
Yes. Okay. So we will. We've just returned from closed session and whether no decisions were made, just discussion, and I'll be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Good night. We're adjourned.
All right, cool.
Ready.
Love and understanding.